Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel in where today's episode is going to be all about how to use the power of emotion to create the life experience that you want. My name is Anna Morfides, Many Hearts Counseling, sharing information that I've learned through my schooling career to help others elevate and live their best life, because there is a formula and it does work and we are always in control of it. We cannot be in control of other people. We cannot be in control of how other people show up, but we can control how we are with that experience. We can control how we respond to people. So if we're trying to get onto the dating scene and we are not treated well and we are fearing abandonment or rejection or not feeling good enough, how do you show up in regards to that? If you are trying to get a new job and you're going through the process of applying and you are concerned, you don't feel good enough, all these things, or even if you get a rejection, which is just an opportunity for something different. I was listening to a little snippet from Gabrielle Bernstein, she wrote the book, The Universe Has Your Back. And she was reiterating this concept that very many of us forget or even might not believe at certain times, because we might perceive a rejection as just that, like that it means that we're worthy to be rejected or we're not worthy of that experience. But what it actually means is that door was not meant to open up for you. The other door was meant to open up for you. But then how are you in the face of quote unquote rejection? How do you receive that? Do you make a meaning out of that you're not good enough for that? Or do you make a meaning out of that in a way that is more serving, like, oh, okay, like, they're saying a no to me, but that's okay because I know that I'm good enough for this. And just because I received a no, that just only means that there's a yes somewhere else that's waiting for me. But how do I perceive that experience? The best way to perceive that experience is to know that you are meant to be somewhere else, and you don't get down on yourself and you're not hard on yourself and go into a spiral of thoughts that will elicit more negative emotions like anxiety and fear and unworthiness and all these other negative feelings. The point of life is to be able to overcome these experiences in the most graceful way that we can, to keep our vibration high so we can keep having more high vibrational experiences drawn into our life. So how much better would it be that if we get to know, whether it is someone that we want to date or a job opportunity or anything, knowing that that doesn't mean that we're not good enough for that person and or situation. That just means that maybe we needed to learn a little bit more about our self-worth. Maybe we needed to have trust and faith that just because we think that something is supposed to unfold this way and we can't see what's on the peripheral, but the greater power that runs the seasons and everything in between knows and sees everything. So it's trying to gently redirect us to somewhere else and have trust and faith that everything is unfolding as it should. And if you keep your vibration high and your emotional state of being high, then what's going to come in next will match and have that equal vibration. So feeling, we can control our feelings. And one of the best ways to control our feelings is gratitude. Gratitude is one of the biggest ways to transform our feelings, because you cannot be resentful and grateful at the same time. You cannot be anxious and grateful at the same time. We cannot be yeah, scared and grateful at the same time. If you're saying your gratitude about a certain experience, thank you so much for showing me that I am meant to perhaps be in a different relationship. Thank you so much for showing me that you saying a no to me is triggering my abandonment wound. And I'm working on that. So the next time I get a no, I'm not going to interpret that and make that mean that I'm not worthy to be loved. I'm going to interpret that as, okay, so that we were just not meant to be together, and there's something else that's waiting for me around the corner, because I'm not going to settle for something that doesn't want me. Because what part of me in the first place would allow me to be in a situation where I would want to be with someone who is clearly not wanting to be with me? Where did I learn that? How is that part of my programming? It all goes back to our core beliefs and the subconscious thoughts that have created internal messages via our nervous system within ourselves that goes into, like, it kickstarts every day that you wake up in the morning. Your hard drive kicks in and all of your neurons are firing all these ideas, and from our thoughts then we have feelings. And the way to make sure that life gives you what you are, not what you want. Life will give us what and who we are and not what we want. So the best way to make sure you become that of what you want is to embody the feeling of somebody that already has what you want. And how do you do that is by gratitude, because you can do gratitude as if you already have it. Thank you so much for giving me the perfect job. Thank you so much for giving me my perfect partner, who, and then go into as much detail as possible, who is responsive and communicative and emotionally responsible and shows up for me, can hear me. My job is 9 to 5. I get to dress nice. I have 4 weeks off vacation, whatever it is. And then you embody that feeling of the person that already has it. You feel that. And if you have a hard time feeling that, because of your external circumstances right now are so far off from where you want to be, gratitude is the best way to at least change that. If you can't find joy and or comfort in anything else, because I do work with people that do feel really, 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 for lack of better words, like desperate to feel anything other than their discomfort and sorrow. And gratitude is the best way to do that, especially if you are like some of these, like there's a person that I'm working with that there's no light at the end of the tunnel, and they're trying to grasp onto anything to make them feel just an inch of like feeling good, so then they can start to like just transmute all that misery and discomfort that they're feeling. Because if you stay in that state, you're just going to bring in more experiences that will keep reflecting that state, and nothing will get better. So we have to break that cycle, shift that. So gratitude is the best way if you can't find anything else to, potentially bring more joy into your life. So, and then furthermore, going outside of gratitude. So giving gratitude for what you have today, and giving gratitude for the version of yourself, acting as if you already have all those things. Your thoughts, because your thoughts will create your emotions. Watch what your thoughts are. And again, it's a lot easier to start changing your thoughts when you feel good, as opposed to when you're not feeling good and you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel and you are consumed with fear, worry, anxiety. It's a lot harder to change the thoughts consciously, because subconsciously they're like running that computer with all those things that you actually don't want to feel. But paying attention to them, you can rewire them, right? Like, give yourself the opportunity to think the complete opposite. Everything is going to be okay. Everything is working out. And no always means another yes. Everything is happening for my highest good. I don't need to ever worry about anything. Everything is always working out. I am fully supported. There's always a lesson in any crisis. A crisis is an opportunity for growth. A crisis is a disguised opportunity. You can choose to think in these different ways, and then you can choose to stay in gratitude. And then I promise you, no matter what is going on around you, it's going to allow you to have control of what you predominantly feel. So then you can stay centered and focused and be this really still mountain, like Dr. Brian Weiss says. And it doesn't matter if it's hailing or raining or windy or stormy around you, you're able to be a still mountain. And in the stillness, you listen to everything that's going on, and you get to choose what thought you want to hold on to. You get to choose what you're going to be grateful for, as opposed to angry, upset, fearful. Rewire your thoughts. This is your superpower. And like Dr. Joe Dispenza says, yes, rewiring our thoughts and affirmations are great. And then when you couple them in with the feeling, then is when the magic happens, because our feeling state, the energy in motion, is the point of attraction for everything else that's coming in for us. And this is when we become what we want. We become what we want because we want X, Y, and Z experience. But when we are in an ABC experience and we feel the results of our ABC experience, how can we get to the XYZ if we are resonating with ABC? We need to rise up to become XYZ. And how do we do that? Again, power of gratitude. Reframe your thoughts. Think the complete opposite of what naturally wants to come in. And yeah, I know that with consistency and through the power of neuroplasticity, we can recreate these new pathways, and we can anchor in different predominant feelings within ourselves, therefore different experiences in our lives. Keeping this video short and sweet. Thank you so much for tuning in for another episode of Living Your Best Life with me, Anna Morfides, with Many Hearts Counseling. And I will see you next time.